Is the value add strategy the most effective when it comes to multifamily real estate investing? In this video, I'm going to take a look at value add and the common wait and see approach and see which one comes out on top. So make sure you hit the subscribe button right now so you don't miss more videos about building wealth through multifamily real estate. And if you don't know me, I'm Seth Ferguson, a 12-year real estate veteran, host of a real estate TV show, host of a real estate investing podcast, and I'm also the author of the real estate book, Sell for More. So let's get right into it and take a look at the value add approach. Is it really the best approach out there? Let's start off by taking a look at the wait and see approach. So we'll just say wait and see. And this is actually a common approach where somebody will buy a property in a strong market, all the drivers are there, they're buying in a great location, the property is improved, strong rents, a great tenant profile, and they're buying the property with the hopes or with the plan of the property appreciating over the long term and them paying down the mortgage. So let's talk about this. Well, what are some benefits to this approach? Well, the first thing I can think of is it takes less effort to manage and run the deal. Because if you're doing a heavy lift with a value add, there's always fires that pop up. Whenever you have a construction or a renovation project, there's always things that come up that you didn't expect, or there's always some curveballs the project throws at you. So in terms of management, if you're already buying the deal in its improved state, and you're already getting strong rents and you're in a great location, it's easier to manage. So we'll just say easier. That's definitely a benefit if you don't want to be more hands-on and in the trenches and really working to turn that property around. Now, what are some detractors with the wait and see strategy? Well, I can think of two, but first let's hop on over to value add first. So we have the value add approach. And I've done videos on this before, and I'll put a link right up here to a video where I talk about the physical aspect, and then I'll do another video, another link to a video where I talk about the operational side, because there's two sides to the value add approach. There's physical, where you're doing renovations, changing the property, whether it's interior, exterior, doing parking lots, roofs or roofs. And then operations, where you're really managing expenses, optimizing those, changing how you're leasing, marketing, all that sort of stuff. So I'll put the links up right up here so you can check out those videos. And why is this important? Well, in multifamily real estate, in commercial real estate, the property is valued based on what's called the income approach. We have our revenue and we have our expenses. And when we subtract the expenses from the revenue, we're left with the net operating income. And we use this along with the cap rate to value the property. So basically, the value add approach is all about increasing the revenue and decreasing or optimizing expenses. And this is going to increase the value of the property. Like I said, there are a couple different ways that you can implement the value add approach, and every deal will have a little bit of operations and have a little bit of physical. So check out those videos and I'll go a lot more in depth. So the value add approach, there are some benefits that I see versus the wait and see approach. But let's talk about the detractor. This one was easier because you don't have to handle a project for 1 year, 2 years, sometimes even 3 years if it's a really heavy lift. So value add, let's just say it's a lot of work. Because it can be. You're managing a deal. But what are some of the benefits? Let's talk about these both together. So you know how I said with the wait and see approach, you're buying in a strong market and you're banking on the appreciation. Well, appreciation, that's a big question mark. We know for a fact that real estate will appreciate. We just don't know when. We don't know if it's next year, 2 years, 3 years, 7 years from now. So that is a big question mark. And whenever we're talking about investors, professional investors want to control as much as they can about the process, because the more that's out of your control, the higher the risk goes. So we always want to manage risk and control as much as we can. So how we value these properties using the income approach, I have a lot of control as an investor in how my property is valued, because I can manage the revenue I'm generating if I can improve it, and I can also optimize or manage the expenses by optimizing the operations of the property, better management, better systems, that sort of thing. So if I'm able to buy a value add property where there's under market rents and needs some renovations and it's poorly managed, I can go in and manufacture and improve the value of the property. I'm creating money for myself just by doing the work. Because as long as I improve the revenue and decrease or optimize the expenses, the value of my property will go up. So I'm not waiting with the big question mark whether or not the property will appreciate, because I'm manufacturing the appreciation myself. I'm controlling it. Now here's a bonus. I can buy a value-add property in a strong market with great potential, strong market drivers, all that sort of thing in the path of progress. So whenever appreciation of the market does kick in, this is almost like a bonus wind pushing the value of my property even further. So I've already manufactured, I've controlled the valuation of my property as I've improved it through my value add strategy, but then I'm also getting the bonus of market appreciation, which the wait and see approach also gets, but I have a whole lot more control, because if all the other properties are renting for right here and they're being valued up here, and I'm buying a property down here, I know that the spread, that's my bread and butter right there, and that's my profits. So I will come in and improve the property and bring it up to market standard. Here's the other word I want to throw at you, is velocity. With the wait and see approach, we're buying in a strong market, everything's great about the property, it's easy to manage, but there's no velocity because I can't really control how fast the property appreciates. I can't control when I'm going to exit from the deal because I'm at the mercy of the market appreciating, which we all know it happens eventually, but we don't know when, and that's leaving a whole lot to chance. With the value add strategy, I can control the valuation of the property on my timeline. So I can choose to spend 5 years improving the property, or I can compress it, really tighten those timelines and get it done in a year and a half. So I could wait here in a wait and see approach for the market to appreciate, let's say over 7 years. Or let's say 7 to 10, because we'll talk about the full market cycle to go a full cycle. Now with a value add property, I can compress that and have it done in, let's say, 1.5 to 3 years. Which one would you rather choose? I would rather hit my returns in 1.5 to 3 years, and then maybe even get some bonus appreciation from the market, rather than waiting 7 to 10 years for the market to appreciate, but I have no control over the situation. So the velocity of your money, your money is working a whole lot harder, and you're compressing those timelines by using the value add strategy to force the appreciation of the asset on your timeline so you can control the value of the property. Now, obviously, you always have to take into account the market you're buying in, making sure all the strong drivers are there. Everything the wait and see approach takes into consideration, but you're also controlling the value of the property and actually working to bring the property back up to market standard, and that's your bread and butter. Out of the two, it all depends. If you want easy to manage, well, the wait and see approach, that's great. It all depends on what stage you are in with. It all depends on what stage you're in with your portfolio. But with the value add strategy, your money works a whole lot harder. You have far more control over the value of your property and where you end up. Everything's done on your timeline. And as long as you're buying the right property and you're doing a great job with you're doing a good job with your due diligence, you can manufacture that value and add dollars to your property using the value add approach. If you're interested in learning more about the deals I'm currently doing, head on over to callseth.com to set up your free 20-minute phone call with me. And if you like this video, if you found this useful, hit the like button, leave a comment, let me know what you think, and until next time, happy investing.